Have you ever wondered why certain places feel strangely familiar, even though you have never been there before? Or why a piece of music, a scent in the wind, can awaken emotions so ancient you cannot explain them with memories from this lifetime? Perhaps somewhere deep within you, a story is waiting to be remembered. A story older than your name, older than the world, Today, we begin the journey to find it. In this video, we will explore two powerful gateways into your soul's memory: past life regression and meditation. Which path leads you closer to the truth? Which method resonates more deeply with your spirit? Together, we will walk through the landscapes of your inner world, not rushing, not chasing, but allowing the past to find you. By the end of this journey, you will not just understand the difference between regression and meditation. You will feel which doorway your soul has been quietly knocking on all along. I still remember the first time I tried to look beyond the veil of this life. I was younger then, full of questions I could not name. A restless feeling haunted me, as if somewhere out there, a part of me had been left behind. I sought answers everywhere, in books, in teachers, in places far from home. And one evening, sitting quietly under a violet sky, I asked myself the question that changed everything. Was I supposed to search harder or listen deeper? That was when the journey inward truly began. Through different methods, some guided, some silent, I touched glimpses of who I had been. And more importantly, I touched the truth of who I have always been. Today, I want to walk with you on that same quiet road. Past life regression meditation. Two paths, one destination. To remember, are you ready to take the first step toward your soul's forgotten journey? There were days when I sat silently in a familiar room, yet inside, I felt a strange sense of unfamiliarity, as if I had once lived in another place, had once been someone else, long before this name was ever spoken. I asked myself, is this life just one page in a very long book? Is it possible that the memories I carry are not limited to the years recorded? That question, small as it was, took root deep within me. It urged me to begin a journey, to search for the parts of memory that had fallen asleep, the parts I had never been taught to remember. I turned to past life regression, not as an escape, but as a calling, a way to listen to myself. At a deeper level, past life regression is a process in which light hypnosis techniques are used to relax the mind, to bypass the usual defenses, and to open the door into the subconscious. In that deeply relaxed state, memories, long dormant, stories the soul carries from previous lifetimes, can gently rise, like morning mist. The first time I experienced past life regression, I did not see a vivid movie playing out before my eyes. There were no crowns, no battlefields, no thrilling tales like those often told. Instead, there was only a blurry image, a vast open field, pale purple wildflowers swaying in the breeze, and a very strange feeling, as if I had once stood there, had once belonged to that place. I did not fully understand what I saw, but within me, a strange peace spread, light as a breath, deep as roots. Another well-known real-life example is the story of James Leininger, an American boy who from a very young age remembered being a fighter pilot in World War II. James recounted in detail the name of the aircraft carrier, the names of fellow crew members, and even described exactly how his plane was shot down, details that a 2-year-old child could not have known just from books. Researchers, such as Dr. Jim Tucker, followed and verified that these accounts matched real wartime records astonishingly closely. A small lesson I learned is that past life regression does not always give you clear images or complete stories. It may come as a feeling, a strange scent, a fleeting dream, a nameless longing, and sometimes those seemingly tiny fragments carry tremendous healing power. Since beginning this journey, I realized the important thing is not how much you see, but whether you allow your heart to listen to the whispers of the soul, because past life memories do not come to pull you away from the present. They come to remind you of how resilient you have been, of how deeply you have loved, and of how many challenges you have overcome to reach this moment, this life now, that you understand what past life regression truly is and how the journey begins. We will continue to open that door by exploring another method, softer, more free, a journey you can walk on your own. In the next part, let us explore how meditation can also lead you back to the most ancient memories of your soul. There was a time in my journey when I grew tired of seeking answers outside myself, the guided regressions, the endless questions, the longing for a sign that never seemed to come. One evening, sitting alone in the soft glow of a single candle, I realized maybe I was looking too far outward. Maybe the doorway I had been searching for was always inside. Meditation seemed simple at first, just sitting, just breathing, just being. But as I stayed with it, something began to shift. The outer noise of the world, the racing thoughts, the restless need to know, slowly faded into the background. And in the quiet that remained, something ancient began to stir. Unlike past life regression, where someone else helps guide you into your subconscious, meditation invites you to walk that path yourself with no map, no guide, only your breath and your willingness to listen. It is not about forcing images to appear. It is about becoming so still, so deeply rooted in the present, that the past finds its own way back to you. I remember one night in particular. It had been a long, ordinary day. Nothing special, nothing profound. But as I sat in meditation, breathing slowly, sinking deeper into myself, a scene began to unfold in my mind. I saw a marketplace, dusty streets, bright fabrics fluttering in the hot breeze. And the strange thing was, I could smell the spices, feel the weight of the sun on my shoulders, hear the laughter of children running past. It was not a memory from this life. I knew that instantly. It was something older, something deeper. There are countless stories like this, ordinary people, not mystics or gurus, who, through simple daily meditation, stumble upon memories of lives lived long ago. Some remember being healers. Some remember sailing across ancient oceans. Some remember holding the hands of loved ones in a time and place lost to history. But here is an important truth. Meditation is not a shortcut. It is not a quick fix. It is a slow unfurling, like a seed pushing quietly through the soil toward the light. You may sit for days, weeks, even months before a single glimpse comes. And when it does, it might be no more than a feeling, a whisper, a tug at the edges of your soul. A small lesson I learned: the stillness you cultivate through meditation is not just the doorway to your past. It is also the foundation of your future. Because the deeper you learn to listen, the more clearly you can hear the voice of your soul in every moment, in every life. Now that we have explored how both past life regression and meditation can open windows into the soul, it is time to look more closely at the key differences between these two paths, how they guide you, how they shape your experience, and which one might be whispering to your heart. Right now, there is a moment on every journey when you come to a crossroads. Two paths lie ahead, both promising insight, both whispering to your soul, but they do not lead you in quite the same way. To truly honor your journey, you must know the nature of the path you choose. Past life regression is like being gently carried down a river. A trained guide leads you, holding the oars, navigating the currents of your subconscious. You close your eyes, Relax your body and allow their words to create a bridge between your present awareness and the distant echoes of your past lives. In a regression, memories can surface quickly, sometimes vividly, like fragments of dreams you suddenly remember in full color. You may see faces, hear voices, feel emotions that seem to belong to another time. It can be powerful, emotional, even overwhelming. Meditation, on the other hand, is like standing at the edge of a great still lake. You sit, you breathe, you wait, and slowly, as the ripples of thought quiet themselves, the surface becomes clear. In that mirror-like stillness, memories rise up on their own. No one steers you. No one tells you where to look. You discover not just your past lives, but the deep, timeless silence from which all life arises. The differences are subtle, but important. In past life regression, you surrender your journey to a guide. The experience can be faster, but sometimes harder to integrate. Emotional catharsis can happen suddenly. It often feels like watching scenes in a movie. In meditation, you walk the path yourself. The experience unfolds slowly. Gradually, insights seep into your being over time. It feels less like watching and more like remembering from within. Let me share two real stories. A woman I knew tried past life regression once. She instantly saw herself in a battlefield. The terror, the chaos, the pain of loss so vivid she wept for hours afterward. It was powerful, but it left her shaken, unsure of how to process what she had seen. Later, through daily meditation, she revisited that same lifetime, but from a place of compassion, of understanding, of healing. The memory did not disappear, but it softened. It became part of her, not something that haunted her. A small but vital lesson. Regression can open the door for you, but meditation helps you learn how to live with what you find. One is a spark, the other is the slow building of a sacred fire within you. And so, you might ask, which path should I choose? The truth is, there is no one answer, only the answer that feels right to your heart, to your soul. In this moment of your life, in the next part of our journey, we will explore the common pitfalls that many travelers encounter, whether through regression or meditation, and more importantly, how you can step around them gently, gracefully. With your spirit intact, no journey into the soul is without its shadows, no matter which path you choose, past life regression or meditation. There are quiet traps along the way, places where even the most sincere traveler can stumble. It is not a sign of failure. It is simply part of the sacred unfolding. But if you know where these pitfalls lie, you can meet them with wisdom and step past them with grace. The first trap, expecting too much, too soon. Many seekers sit down for their first regression or close their eyes for their first meditation and expect fireworks. They imagine vivid visions, dramatic scenes, instant revelations. But the soul speaks in whispers, not shouts. When you demand the extraordinary, you may miss the quiet, precious truths blooming right at your feet. The way through is patience, gentleness, trusting that what needs to be revealed will come in its own time. The second trap, mistaking imagination for memory. Sometimes, in the hunger for connection, the mind begins to create stories. You may see grand pasts filled with crowns and castles, heroic journeys, and tragic romances. But memory, true memory, feels different. It is not always glamorous. It is often simple, quiet, deeply emotional in a way imagination rarely touches. The way through is to listen, not with your eyes, but with your heart. If what you see makes your soul ache with recognition, you are closer to the truth than you think. The third trap, fear of what you might find. Many times, just before a breakthrough. Fear arises. What if I see something painful? What if I discover something dark about who I was? These fears can make you pull away, shutting the door just as it is beginning to open. But hear this, you are not here to judge your past selves. You are here to understand them, to embrace them, to gather all parts of yourself into the wholeness you already are. The way through is courage, not the absence of fear, but the willingness to walk forward anyway, with compassion for whatever you may find. The fourth trap, clinging too tightly to the past. Once a glimpse of a past life comes, it can be tempting to cling to it, to build your identity around it, to wear it like a badge. But you are not your past lives. You are the soul, the traveler, the witness to all those stories. They are part of you, but they do not define you. The way through is humility, a deep honoring of the past without losing yourself in it. A small lesson life whispered to me. The journey into past lives is not about proving anything. It is about softening, about remembering, about weaving all the threads of who you have been into the strength of who you are becoming. You are not broken pieces scattered across centuries. You are one luminous soul, walking gently across the tapestry of time. Now that you know the pitfalls and how to walk past them with kindness and wisdom, you are ready to choose your path, to step forward in trust. In the next part of our journey, we will talk about how to make that choice, how to listen deeply to your own soul, and hear which method, regression or meditation, is calling you home. At the end of every journey, there comes a still moment, a moment when you no longer chase the path, but let the path choose you. And maybe that moment is now. You have listened. You have felt the pull of both ways. Past life regression, meditation, both beautiful, both powerful, each holding its own kind of medicine. But your soul, your quiet, ancient soul, already knows which doorway is meant for you. At this point in your life, if you feel drawn toward past life regression, if there is a longing in you to dive deep, to be guided safely through the hidden corridors of your subconscious, then honor that calling. Regression is like a lantern in a dark cave. It can illuminate places you would never find on your own. It can bring buried wounds into the light so that they can finally be healed. Just remember to walk that path with an open heart and a grounded spirit. Choose a guide who feels trustworthy, safe, gentle, someone who respects the sacredness of your soul's memories. If you feel drawn toward meditation, if there is a quiet voice in you whispering, go slow, listen deeper, trust the unfolding, then honor that as well. Meditation is not about speed. It is about depth. It is about growing your own roots so that when memories rise, you are strong enough to hold them, to learn from them, to be transformed by them. Through meditation, you do not just remember who you were. You begin to truly remember who you are. A small lesson I have learned. The method you choose is not as important as the love and patience you bring to the journey. Some seasons of your life, you may need the guiding hand of regression. Other seasons, you may need the silent companionship of meditation. Both are valid. Both are sacred. Both lead you home. The real question is not which method is better. The real question is, which method whispers to your heart in this moment? Listen closely. The answer is already there, waiting like a familiar song you have always known. Thank you for walking this quiet road with me today. I hope you feel, even in a small way, the vastness of who you are, the many lives you have lived, the many lessons you carry, the incredible strength that has always been within you. Wherever you choose to go from here, regression or meditation, remember this: you are not beginning the journey. You are simply remembering the journey you have always been on. And every step you take, every breath you draw is a homecoming. Welcome back.